based on the divorce rate, which is typically mostly filed by women, what is the number one reason that the divorce happens?
Look at the top 5 reasons for divorces.
I said number
You didn't
one.
ask for 5. She said number 1.
I said 1.
You asking me to look up the stats, or you gonna look them up?
I already did.
Okay, so
What's the number one reason?
You want me to just know it off the top of my head?
Oh, I thought you. I remember watching another episode. That you
the show, I have my stats up. I wasn't prepared for this, but no.
Well,
so what's the number one reason, Tara? Since you had the stats,
please tell me.
Commitment.
That
was the number one reason that most women filed for divorce, was because of commitment and companionship within their marriage was lacking.
Ma'am, can you keep going? You got 5 more.
No, I asked number 1. Finances is like down to number 4 at this point. Number 3 or 4. So finances aren't the issue because now women are able to work. So now finances don't necessarily, have to be number 1 because you're not relying on a man to provide that for you.
Ma'am,
let me ask you a question, Tara.
You just can't do that.
Give me 2 seconds, because I had if I remember correctly, I had a conversation on the Chic Critique, and it was with the married women, and you guys told me it was because you're overworked. Wasn't that the conversation that we had? When it asked some of the issues in marriage, and it was like, oh, because we're responsible for this.
In my marriage, yeah, I felt like that. So we had to make some adjustments. Absolutely.
I think that's what he's talking about.
I mean, when me and my husband first started out, I think we were very young. So just like most people, like when they get in relationships, especially when you're young, men and women both practice on the hearts of other men and women as they're going through the process of finding themselves. And so when we were together, in my mind, I'm taking on that mindset, old school, like the way that I was raised, that this is what women should be doing. And it just did not work because I was, I had his child, had a baby out of wedlock with him. I was going to school full time, working full time, and trying to be a full-time mom, and then coming home after I've gotten home from school to then cook after he waited all day waiting for me to get home to cook. So things like that, we had to make adjustments because it just wasn't realistic for me to maintain that level of engagement in our marriage and feel fulfilled or be happy. So we had to make adjustments, and that was fine because those adjustments worked. We're 26 years in of being together. And I'm not the same person that he met when I was 18. I'm just not, nor should I be.
Do you think it's a combination of the two? So do you think because you are overworking, you're doing all of this work, and then he cheats, now you're like, okay, that is it. And you're blaming it on the cheating. In reality, it's just you're overworked and you're cheating? Like, how dare you? You understand what I'm saying? Because there are women who are being taken care of their housewives, and their men cheat all the time. They're like, oh, So do you think that that's what it is?
I'm not sure if I understand what your question
was.
So
for example, you're saying, so before, I'm going by a prior conversation with all of the women. It wasn't just you. You guys all stated that, it can be a little time consuming. You can be overworked. Okay. So that was what I got out of that conversation. So with that being said, a woman who has worked all of these hours, they come home, they cook, they clean, blah, blah, blah. And then you find out the man that you are doing all this stuff for is cheating on you. So that's additional. Do you think that that's the reason why? Or if, let's just say, you weren't doing all of those things, you weren't, your plate wasn't full because you're not paying the bills, you don't have to work, but then he cheats. So that's kind of like one thing, in opposed to all these other things. You understand what I'm saying?
I just want to put 2 cents in. The divorce rate, or the reasons for, in 2022, the 3 reasons for divorces are incompatibility, 43%, infidelity, 28, and money issues, 22. So based off of that for 2022, carry on. So
I'm just telling you, I'm talking about conversation, real life conversations that we've had with married people.
The reason why divorce is an issue is because divorces are made of single people, right? The reason why divorce is such a large thing is because we have people in relationships who are not fulfilled, they're broken. And you're putting them together and you're asking them to come together within a union, and they cannot do it. Beyond all of that, we haven't even mentioned about men having visions. We have women going out to work and doing all this backbreaking labor because they are forced to. They have to. They're not doing it because they want to. If you ask a woman, does she want to work or does she want the option to work? She will say, I'd rather have the option to work, but I don't want to be forced to work. Beyond all of that, the reason why women are working is because we are meeting men who do not have a vision. Taking a page from Dr. Miles Monroe, he says, your job is not your work is your vision. So if we have men who are not working in their vision and you meet a woman who is a helper, what is she going to help you to do if you're not doing anything? Nothing. So now these women are going into this space and doing all of these different things. And now we have an issue. Now we have divorce rates going higher. We have people arguing about quote unquote gender roles. That doesn't exist anymore. At the end of the day, if you want to have a gender role, make it about ability. If you know how to cook and the meals haven't been made, cook. If you know how to clean up, guess what? Clean. Don't wait for somebody else over here to come home after doing whatever they just did and to ask you to cook or clean. Just do it. It's so simple. We don't have to make it difficult.
I love you.
What's your talk more often?
Oh, yeah. Michael start working.
The only problem is I think more men have more vision than she's letting on to be.
Say it again.
She said that men don't have vision. I think men do have vision, just women don't. Maybe it's not the vision that women want to acquiesce to. I think that's what's happening more in my estimation.
Some men don't.
Most men do.
I dig that. I think there are men who do have visions, and I think that there are women that struggle to be able to align with that vision. And even
there we go.
That, we think about, again, going back to divorce or going back to division, like that has two different visions. You can't have two different visions in a marriage.
Yeah, you can't.
Visions, what happens? You get divorced.
You get a lot of women that say that I see where he's at, but when he get with me, I'm gonna help him go.
Right.
It's I'm gonna build my man up to be something that she got in her head, where he may be already like, I'm on a different.
See, we trying to man. She right. Men don't have no plans, especially in no relationship. If you see her saying, "Oh, she gotta have sex," that's not a plan. That's you trying to get your dick wet. Let's be honest. And then guess what? Hey, if you really listen to these dudes.
Wait. What man don't have no plan?
All the time on Anton late night live stream. And I ask these dudes, what is your plan? They literally don't have a plan. And they try to critique my barefoot and butt naked plan. And they don't even understand it. They don't have a plan, so they can never move forward. All they gonna do is what they see Beyonce, Jay-Z, all these other niggas that they can't carry a conversation without bringing up Kevin Samuels, all these dudes that let you know that they don't have a plan.
I don't know about the guys that you are on YouTube with you, but I'm speaking general, and I'm speaking most people aren't on YouTube. Most men aren't on YouTube. Most men, when I'm saying men have a plan, most men, I believe, do have a plan. It may not be the plan that women want. It may not even be the aspirations or achieve or want to be as big as the plans that she has for her family or what she wants for her family. And so women are out here doing things. I get it. The guys that you're talking about maybe are just some shiftless niggas that don't have nothing to do and all they want to do is play PlayStation and go have sex and wear Gucci belts and go to the club. I get that. I ain't talking about them dudes.